everyone who subscribed recently and those who have stayed loyal. As you know now, the Three Hammers is now known as the West Ham World. I thought I'd do a live one this morning because I haven't had a little chat with you back yesterday. Obviously, Guido Rodriguez has now officially signed, which takes us up to a lot of signings. We've brought in some really good players, and it's nice to know that the club are going forward and really trying to be ambitious for once. And letting it looks like Tim Steidten do what he wants to do with the club. With that happening, obviously Fodringham coming in, Luis Guilherme, Somerville, Guido, Kilman, to name a few. There's probably obviously Fulkrug as well. Maybe Wan-Bissaka happen. That's the one that's only gone a little bit stagnant. With that happening, you would assume that West Ham would need to get rid of some players, and that's what this live show is about. It's interactive. Remember, guys, it's my opinion. I'm not in the know, and I'm just giving them reasons why these players could be surplus to requirements. I'm not saying they will go. I'm not saying they should go. I'm just saying why they could be considered to be going. Obviously, we lost some really important players in January as well, which has probably rose some of the funds for it. Obviously, with Fornals going, Ben Rama going, Kerr going, Flynn Downs also left. A couple of youth boys have gone as well. There's probably about 4 or 5 that you could look at and say that if an offer came in, would West Ham accept it? It would probably be yes. Loads of the news over the last couple of days is about Zouma's been told to find a new club, so I think he's a good person to start with. Obviously, Kurt Zouma, like I say, a top player for us. When he first come in, it was him and Oggy at the back. They were fantastic together. Been vital in some of them big European games, been there, done it, and helped us out and been a real important player. I think we all can see that his knees are done, and it's time for him to go. I think if you keep him, he's just a passenger. Someone made a really good point on Gio's stream yesterday. I'm really sorry, mate. I've been on your show a few times, but I completely forgot your name. He said what it would mean as well is it would mean this captaincy wouldn't have to be stripped from Zouma. It would be that Zouma's going and they announce a new captain. I think Zouma will go now. There's rumours that it may be a free, just to basically get him off the books. If we can get any money for him, it would be a bonus. But yeah, Zouma is the most obvious one. So he's the one that's worth starting at. It's clear that we want another centre-back as well. We've been looking, obviously, at Tobido, Bissek as well. And there's a couple more names that have been linked as well. So this might speed up that process. If Zouma goes, then expect a new centre-back to come in. Ray Slater says there are a few names. I will be going through them, mate. So I won't read your comment out, but I'll be going through exactly those names you've put there. We'll start at the back then. We'll do one of your names you put there. I'm not necessarily saying he will go, but I can understand why he may consider leaving. Let's put it like that. And that's Vladimir Sofel on the right back role. I don't think he can play the way that Lopetegui wants to play. I think that's why the right back position was very, very heavily linked at. Obviously, you look at Wan-Bissaka, Carl Walker-Peters, 2 names that we are heavily linked with. Wan-Bissaka, fingers crossed, it gets done. You wouldn't blame Vlad. Vlad, it's the classic Ryan line from West Ham Fan TV. 5 million we paid for him, and he's been top for us at times. He's had some real wobbles where he looks really bad. But then I remember games where against like Jack Grealish, when Grealish was at Villa, where he basically pocketed him. Good morning to everyone in the chat. Mark, Amaret, and Ray as well. Mark, I'll answer your question in a minute. I'll come back to them in a minute. But yeah, Vlad, what sort of price would you look for Vlad as well? There's a question for you guys in the live chat. Obviously, I think you could command anything up from about 10 million. I think you could take 10 million for him. He's he's experienced Premier League right back. I think he would do a job for most clubs, in that sort of top 10 down. I think he could be a real good player for them. But yeah, so Vlad's another one again, but I don't think he will go. I don't think he will go. Let's move into the midfield. Souček is obvious name. It's obvious. It's the most obvious name to throw out there. If it wasn't Zouma, I would probably say Thomas Souček. As I said in my video the other day about Thomas Souček, we all love the aeroplane. We love the goals he scored. He scored some absolute crackers last season as well. Scored some amazingly important goals as well. Seville goals, crucial goals that were part of the reason we stayed up when he first came in. You know, he's a nuisance in both boxes. He can win headers, but he can't pass a football. And he's not good on the ball either. He's so stiff on the ball. I just don't see it. I just don't see a future for him at the club. I think it's a good time to sell him as well, because I think you could get an okay price for him. I just don't see anywhere for him apart from coming on for the last 20 minutes in a game to be a battering ram, basically, to arrive late in the box, hope that he gets on Fulkrug's knockdowns. But this man will not start in our system. He will give the ball away too much. He can't play the intricate passes. His speed of thought is not quick enough for a Lopetegui system. I just see no way forward for him. What sort of price would I accept? North of 12 million, I think, would be a decent price for him. Potentially could push it to 15. Like I say, cult hero. Absolute cult hero. His interviews, his potato salad, aeroplane celebration. But no, West Ham are trying to go down a different path now. And a big thing I've said for a long time, and I've been guilty of it of years, because you fall in love with players and stuff, and you become this illusion of, oh, let's keep them. But you can't have sentiment in sport. You can't. When time is not there, when you don't suit the project that's being put on the table, you have to go. You have to go. You have to go. I will come back to the comments, guys. Apologies, but keep them coming in. I will come back to the comments in a minute. One I forgot in defence, actually, is Naifa Gerd. One I would keep, personally. I think there is a role for him at the club. I think he will stay now as well. I think, like I say, I think one centre-back will go, Zouma, and I think one will come in. Gerd is probably the most valuable asset that we could sell. You probably could, you're looking at 25 million plus for him. And, he comes with a really good reputation in League One as well. The reason he could go, we knew he was unhappy under Moyes, but has he been given a new lease of life in the new under the new management? He's a great passer of the ball. When he's in this new team, I'm hoping that we're not as under pressure as we have been in years. I think Virgil Van Dijk, genuinely, I think Virgil Van Dijk and prime Paolo Maldini would look bad in West Ham's defence last year, purely because any defender facing that much intense pressure would eventually crumble and make a mistake. And the thing is, when you make a mistake as a defender, or you get caught, or you lose your concentration for one split second, it leads to a goal which makes you look bad, which, knocks your confidence. But yeah, he's the only reason I would sell him is because he's a big asset, and I don't think he will start, but he does have a role at the club. For me, I would keep him. James Ward-Prowse, I wouldn't sell him personally. I wouldn't. I think he could play this role. I don't think he will start games, which again makes you think that maybe he will look for a way out. But he can pass the ball. He can pass long. He can pass short. He can do the tick over stuff if needed. Will he get anywhere near the first team? I can't see it. Edson Alvarez, Guido Rodriguez, Paquetá, Kudus, etc., around that sort of midfield area. Again, you could probably get a decent fee for him. English, homegrown. I think maybe next year you'll see him go, or maybe in January. I don't think he leaves this summer. But yeah, I can see why people are saying he'd go. He is limited, but he can do the passing. So for now, because we can't go out and just completely keep buying players, at some point we have to stop buying players. because of the FFP rules and stuff like that now. But yeah, he's one that I can't see going, but I can understand why people say he will. If we move up front, let's go on the left-hand side. Maxwell Cornet. I don't know what's going to happen with this young man's career, or man's career. With Somerville coming in, you would expect Somerville to be the main starter on the left-hand side for the most of the season. Cornet's not shown me much in the pre-season. He's had glimpses in the Premier League when he's come on, set up goals, or even scored in some games. Yeah, I think if you could get a decent fee for him, I'd just get him off the books, because I don't think it's worked out for him. It's one of those transfers that hasn't quite worked out. Would I like it to? Would I like him to surprise me and be like one of the main people off the bench next season? Of course I would. I always want every West Ham player to succeed. But yeah, I think most people would agree that if Cornet was to go, we wouldn't be that upset. I'm going to go into the comments after these next two guys. Next one, Danny Ings. That was the stuff that's coming out today, is that West Ham are looking, for people to buy Danny Ings. Obviously, he's on big money. Hasn't quite worked out for him. I think with the signing of Fulkrug, his options will be very limited. I still think West Ham might sign another striker as well. There were links with Tammy Abrams. There's obviously the John Duran deal that it still could happen. It still could happen, the John Duran deal. I don't know. I wouldn't surprise me if that becomes a loan to buy option, just so Villa can get him off the books. But we'll wait and see. Danny Ings, it'd be good for any team that's just come up, or he could go back down to the Championship if he wanted to. He will score goals in the right team. He will score goals. His link-up play is really good as well. But just, I don't know. I don't see it working at West Ham. And I would sell. I would sell Danny Ings. Last one before I go into the comments and let you guys have some of the show is Mikel Antonio, guys. The man's not getting any younger. Scored a good goal the other day, to be fair to him, in a pre-season game. There's arguments to keep him as a super sub. There is. I know some channels were saying that it wouldn't surprise me if he's had more minutes than Fulkrug by the end of the season. It wouldn't surprise me either. Obviously, our record goal scorer. Again, a cult hero, scored some really great goals for us. But again, I can see Lopetegui becoming frustrated with him. His touch is awful. He's lost that yard of pace. He's not as, how shall I say, explosive as he used to be. He misses a hell of a lot of chances. I wouldn't sell him, actually. I thought I would say I would. I think I'd keep him and let him see out his contract, which ends next year, I believe. Like Cresswell as well. You notice I haven't mentioned Cresswell. Obviously, you would sell Cresswell, but he's probably going to stay that year just as cover for Emerson if we need it. Hopefully, we hardly have to see him in there. But yeah, Antonio, I'd keep for the season. I think there's cup games for him. I think there's games off the bench for him as well. And maybe there are games where you could play Fulkrug and Antonio together. And we may see that. But if John Duran comes in, it might be a slightly different scenario. Anyway, let's go into the comments, guys, because you guys are being really kind. Excuse my finger there, right in front of the camera. So, Ray Stater says, Zouma, Souček, James Ward-Prowse, Ings, and he would keep Souček. Mark Watson says, if Duran should join us, then Antonio. Yeah, exactly what I just said. That when if Duran was to come, it wouldn't surprise me if Antonio was looking for a way out. Morning, says Hammerette. Good morning, Hammerette. Hammerette says Duran kicks off about being second to Watkins. Imagine the drama if he came in and compete with 3 other strikers over 30. But if he's our number one target, I think he will start, and then Fulkrug might be the second choice. I don't know. It's so hard to do. I want Duran. I do. I really do want him. I think he just would be that final piece, and it gives us something different. You've got Fulkrug, big lump, good finisher, good touch, etc. And then you've got John Duran, pace, trickery, lethal shot, young, hungry, nasty. I would like both. Hammerette says, I can't see the Manx selling us Aaron Wan-Bissaka, unfortunately. We are direct competition for them and the second biggest spenders in strengthening the window. It's true, and they've messed this about before. There was a great video from Gonzo the other day talking about why we should walk away. Because they've messed us about before. Maguire, Scott McTominay, Jesse Lingard. You know, we've had it before with him. Hammerette says, Fulkrug's interview really got me buzzing, said all the right things and really came across. He will be loved in Claret and Blue. I hope so. I hope so. Hammerette says, I think we need to move on with the right backs. Sharpish. Worried we've been hung on Aaron Wan-Bissaka and end up buying a... Yeah, it's true. It's true, mate. We need to get it sorted. Gerd should stay, but does he think he's too good for us? It's a good point. Tim Shorley as a pale right back lined up for us. Yeah, listen, if it's not Aaron Wan-Bissaka, there's right backs out there that can do a job. I just like the fact that Wan-Bissaka is probably the best defensive right back in the Premier League. Mark, hope so. Just hope with many signings. Sorry, I've spammed the chat. No, it's fine. Less than 2 weeks till Villa. Getting excited now. Yeah, especially... if we line up how I want us to line up, you know, Paquetá, obviously Alvarez is not fit, but probably Guido Rodriguez, Somerville, Kudus in the 10, Bowen, Fulkrug up top. Could be very exciting. Very, very exciting. But we've got to give it time. We have to give it time. It might not work straight away. It might take 5 or 6 games for them to really gel, know when each other's going to run. It's chemistry. You know, it takes time, you know, that they're not all Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland, where the first game, boom, they just was magic. You know, sometimes it takes a bit of time to learn that. But when it comes, I think we could be really good this year. I really do. Cornet looked average in pre-season. I wonder what his goal was like, Cornet. Gary says, great respect to Zouma. Yeah, definitely, mate. I've got nothing bad to say against Zouma at all. Nice goal, guys, apart from kicking cats. If Zuma's magic and where's the magic at, he can disappear. Duncan says, morning, Luke. And I've just read Zamora. Zamora? Zuma, you mean? Not Bobby. I don't think Bobby will be coming out, mate. He's having a medical with a Saudi team. Can't see him passing out. No, I can't. But yeah, Zamora, what a legend. I love Bobby. You seen Cornet's goal, Mark? No, I haven't actually. With a right back and a centre... Ooh, what happened there? With a right back and centre back, with a right back and possibly centre back or a Gerd to stay, then this could be an absolutely great window. I agree. Obviously, you have to wait and see. I think that's a really good... I think it's a great window in terms of acquisitions, but you never know how good the window is until you've seen them play and whether they work out. You know, once you've seen that, you can really judge. But in terms of Tim doing the job and rebuilding the team and, you know, trying to get rid of that Moyes in the team, he's done a fantastic job. He really, really has. Let's hope this Guilherme really shows us something as well. No, only Antonio's. Oops, Mark, okay, and Duncan, ha, 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 ha. Anything else, guys? Anything else you've seen out there today? There's not much, to be honest. I think it will go a little bit quiet again now. You know, 3 signings, Somerville, Fulkrug, and Rodriguez. Obviously, we probably would have hoped that Aaron Wan-Bissaka would have been done, but not the case. So it might go a little bit quiet for a little while now. Apart from maybe an out, you might hear an out before you hear another in. What's Hammerette saying? Wish this season more than ever we'd been playing some easier games at the start. Yeah, that's the only thing. Villa's a tough game. Tough game. Palace spanked us last year as well, and they look quite good. Obviously, they'd be confident for the game the other day as well. City. But we need to get off to a good start. As I always say, West Ham, when West Ham have a bad start, it's renowned. You know, we have a bad season if we have a good start. Never forget Bilic's first season, the Arsenal game. We went and beat Arsenal. We went and had a fantastic season. You know, it just sometimes that first game is such a catalyst and such a confidence boost. You know, if that first game, Bowen gets a goal, or Fulkrug gets a goal, and they just bang, start as we mean to go on. We look good. Paquetá looks on it and looks hungry and wants to really show you know, the world, what they'd be missing if he was to get a ban. We could have a really, really good season. We really, really could. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. 20 minutes is long enough for today. I'll try and do some videos later in the week. If any news comes out, like I say, I don't make videos just for the sake of them. It's you know, it's tedious on you. It's tedious on me. Big thank you for watching live. 27 of you watching live. So please, just before you leave, like button. And then that's all you got to do for me. And that's a big thank you. Till next time, guys. Come on, you irons. Keep believing. Subscribe to the West Ham World. Let's go.